Welcome back, everyone, to the Oakland Women's Basketball Notebook. My name is Neal Ruhl, the broadcast voice of the Golden Grizzlies. We're joined by the head coach, Jeff Tungate. And Jeff, appreciate your time. And look, we have a lot to touch on, certainly some news coming out of your program. You personally, before we get into all that, it was in the news. You personally, you tested positive for COVID. You guys are working your way through the protocol, getting ready to start things back up again. So let's start right there, Jeff. I mean, first off, how do you feel right now?
Yeah, Neil, I feel great. I got very fortunate with this, had very mild symptoms, had some body aches, a little chest tightness and things like that, but nothing significant. So I'm very fortunate, very blessed to have had a very mild case, and we're ready to get back to work and get the team back going again on Thursday after, a couple weeks off. I know everybody's eager to get back and get started again.
And what about that, Jeff? Having those couple of weeks off right now. I mean, you guys are getting ready to go, which we'll talk about in just a couple of minutes. I mean, you guys have a game against Michigan on the schedule coming up, and now you've had this break for a couple of weeks. And I can ask you and say, hey, Jeff, what do you think is going to change? I mean, the truth of the matter is you don't know. You've never been through anything like this before in your coaching career. But I mean, give me your best educated guess. Where do you guys go from here in terms of getting things started back up?
Well, we're going to basically have 6 practices before we play Michigan after our players being in quarantine for 2 weeks, doing nothing for 14 days. So, we've got to be smart how we go about this. And at the end of the day, the conference play is the most important thing. We've got to be ready for conference play. So I told our players when we come back, we're going to focus on skill development. I mean, if we can't pass, dribble, shoot, and catch, it doesn't matter what we do. And the fact that we haven't passed, dribbled, shot, or caught for 2 weeks, we need to get back to doing that. We were doing a really good job of passing, catching, dribbling, and shooting before this all happened. So we've got to get back to that level and make sure we focus on that. And then, we've got to get up and down. We got to be able to get up and down and be able to play a 40-minute game. And, obviously we're going to be doing some different things. The amount of practice time, the length of practice is going to be different. We can't just come back and go for our normal 2 hours and 15 minutes, 2.5 hour practice, because we're not ready for that. So every decision we make is going to be based on how do we keep our players healthy. And that's gonna supersede every decision. We may get to the Michigan game, and we might play it like a hockey game where play 5 people for 2 minutes and put 5 more in for 2 minutes and keep rotating that way. Because at the end of the day, come December 12th against UIC, we need to have a healthy team.
And that certainly is the goal, as you talked about. That's what you guys are working towards. But concerning this non-conference schedule, you mentioned the fact that game against Michigan, also Toledo, Chicago State, Michigan State Spartans as well. And to correlate all this together, Jeff, I mean, bottom line, you look at what you do offensively, very much timing based, very much rhythm based. And this is an interruption to the timing, interruption to that rhythm. But this non-conference schedule will give you guys an opportunity to get that back on track.
Yeah, that's the thing we told our team, that we've got to approach this a little different, to where we may not have everything in by Michigan, and that's okay. And we've got to treat it more like a scrimmage, to where everything might not be in. But when we scrimmage, we still play to win. And so that's not going to change, but we just might not have everything in by the Michigan game, might not have everything in for Toledo 2 days later, and that's okay. We're not going through anything different than anybody else in the country is going through right now. And I think the teams that can stay connected, kind of roll the punches, so to speak, and just kind of go about their business, I think are the teams that are going to have success in the end. So we've just got to take, and I don't mean it's like a coaching cliche, but we got to take one day at a time, because you don't know what tomorrow's going to bring. I mean, that cliche now has some real reality to it, because who knows what tomorrow's going to bring? Who knows what Thursday's going to bring when we come back to practice? And we've just got to live each day and enjoy each day and enjoy the time we have together each day, and then move forward to the next day. So, we'll put in what we think they can handle. We'll put in what they need. But at the end of the day, I go back to, we have to be able to pass, dribble, shoot, and catch. And we're going to put a great emphasis on that.
Well, Jeff, as always, appreciate you staying connected with us. So appreciate the time, and we'll talk again soon.
Thanks, Neal.
So for Jeff Tungate, my name is Neal Ruhl. Thanks for watching, everybody. Well, see you later.